In this video, I'll give you a very brief overview of MySQL WorkBench so that you're able to follow this video course. Again, MySQL WorkBench is an optional tool. You can use many different tools that are available there, and those tools are usually called graphical user interface tool or a client to work with MySQL. And you can use, for example, even development environments like NetBeans to connect to MySQL and work with the databases. But in the following videos, I'm going to use this MySQL WorkBench, and for you to be able to follow this video course and use MySQL WorkBench, there is really very little that you need to know about this tool. The tool is very flexible. There are many options, there are many things it can do, and a good lesson or a series of lessons about MySQL WorkBench is really out of the scope of this video course. So you already know how to start MySQL WorkBench, you already know how to set up a new connection and how to open a workspace to work with your database. So I'll click on this button to make MySQL WorkBench to connect to my photo app database with username, and it will bring up an SQL editor, or I like to call it workspace, where I can work with my database. There are different options on the left side, and all we will need to work with mostly is this database space. It's called schemas, and the query editor. At this moment, we have database created only. There are no tables, and we are not going to be creating tables manually. So to perform SQL query, we will need to type it in this space, and the results we will see here. For example, to start working with the database, we always need to run a very first command, use and then database name, photo app. If I don't run this command, if I, for example, attempt to perform some other SQL query like show tables, then it will most likely give me an error. So to execute SQL command, you type it here, and then you click on this icon here that has a lightning strike icon. So I'll click on it, and the results of this command will be displayed here. So it says no database selected. I will first need to select the database by executing this command. So I can select this command and then click on either this icon, which gives me a hint that this will execute the selected portion of the script. So the script that I will select will be executed. And then it says successful result. And now I can use this database, and as you can see, the photo app database name is now bold. Okay, so now I can execute the following command, show tables. I will click on the row where this command is typed, and then I will click on this icon which says execute the statement under the keyword cursor. So I'll click on this, and it gives me an empty result set because there is no database tables. As we go on, there will be different SQL commands that I'm going to be typing, and you will see that to execute command, I simply type it here, and then I click on one of these icons, either the icon with the cursor, or I select SQL command, and then I click on this icon to run that SQL command. The action status will be displayed here, and the results like database table rows will be displayed in this section. And over the time, you will have many different SQL commands listed in this area, and it's very convenient to simply click on the line and click on the button to run that command. If I were using terminal window and typing all of these commands manually every time, that will be much slower and more chances that I could make a typo and introduce an error. So using graphical user interfaces like MySQL WorkBench to work with the database is very convenient, and I hope you're going to like this tool. So let's continue in the next video.